Well, sorry, I'm out of breath here. Give me a second. I was just chasing my cat around my room trying to record this video. But guys, I wanted to discuss my issues with sleeping, my nighttime insomnia that have happened really starting probably back in August. Originally, my issue sleeping kind of began with the warm weather. I have a room upstairs and heat rises, and we don't have great air conditioning. I mean, it's decent. Like, if I owned my own place, I would certainly just blast the air conditioning. It would be 65, 66. But it does cost money, I understand. But originally, guys, I thought my terrible sleeping at night came from the warm weather. But guys, it's been weeks, and I'm going to go over the past 2 days what's really been happening. So this had to have been this must have been, yes, Sunday night. Sunday night, I probably only got 3 hours of sleep. And the issue when this happens, it normally happens like once, maybe twice a week. I'll go to bed, I'll be on my phone, and just scrolling, watching, little YouTube shorts, looking at my crypto, going on Reddit, going on Discord. And at some point, normally, when I was younger, at around 11:30, 12, you get really tired. Your brain wants to shut off. You put the phone down and you go to sleep. And normally it's very easy. But for whatever reason, the past few weeks, I'll have nights where it just doesn't happen. Like, I'll be scrolling, it'll be 2 a.m., and I'm not tired. So I'll try and force myself to go to sleep. I'll put the phone down. And I know people say, well, dude, you can't look at a screen 2 hours before bedtime, bro. Come on. Guys, I'm telling you, it's not that. When I was younger, like 17 or 18, I would bake myself into my phone and just scroll through. And at some point, you get tired. But I'm noticing as I'm getting older, all of this stuff that was just, it was a complete non-issue. My brain fog, really just in general, my brain function, my ability to do simple tasks, it all becomes so much harder. And when you're younger and you hear old people complain about stuff, about their back, about things not working anymore, you always just say, whatever, old person. But you really do realize, especially the past few months, the stuff that I've dealt with, it's just simple activities like sleeping, like not having brain fog. My brain fog originally, I do think it was from a medication, because I remember getting it when I would wake up and I would be completely disoriented and have this crazy bad brain fog. I stopped this one medication and that went away. Meaning the fog when I would wake up went away. I really haven't had that sensation anymore. It was a horrible sensation, but I still do get lingering effects of the brain fog. I mean, the brain fog even got worse after that. It just didn't happen in the morning. But yeah, maybe the brain fog is finally going away. I guess we'll see. Either way, getting back to the sleeping problems. So Sunday night, it's just completely like the night before Sunday, Saturday night, I probably went to sleep at midnight, woke up at 8:30. Very standard. And then Sunday night, for whatever reason, I just cannot fall asleep. And then it got even worse last night. So last night, there was some college football on. I was live streaming one of the games, the Rose Bowl. People wanted me to live stream the other game. It was just, dude, I was tired. I was like, look, I'm trying to get a good night's sleep. I only got 3 hours of sleep on Sunday night. Let me shut off the stream here. I already did 4 hours. So I turn off the stream at around, I don't know, maybe 8:30, 8:45. There was another college football game after the one that I had live streamed, but I didn't watch a second of that. The second college football game started at like 9 o'clock, and I was like, I'm just going to bed. And I kind of like forced myself to go to sleep. It was like I almost gave myself a concussion or something. Like I was just like, go to bed. If that makes sense. It's like I knocked myself out and I did go to sleep, but it wasn't a good sleep. It wasn't like the type of sleep where your head hits the pillow and you're just out. It was kind of like a dazed, and I end up waking up at 1 a.m. I probably fell asleep at like 9:30, maybe 9:45. And I ended up waking up at 1 a.m. and my mouth was so dry. I needed water. And it was just a weird thing where I actually did have a cup of water right next to my bed, but I forgot about it. So I just ended up going on my phone and I was procrastinating. What I should have done, I should have immediately went back to sleep, because I could tell, you can tell when you wake up and you're still tired and you could go back to sleep, but you've got to go back to sleep right away. I didn't do that. I went on my phone. I was looking through you scroll through stuff like, all the apps that I go through. And it was like 4 or 5 a.m. and I still couldn't fall asleep. And then this happens to me as well, where I'll have certain nights where I don't even know if I fall asleep, but then I'm like, did I sleep for 30 minutes? Did I sleep for an hour? I might have fallen asleep at like 6:15 this morning and slept maybe till 8 a.m. So, in essence, I slept from 9:30 at night last night to 1 a.m., woke up, and I did check the score of that Texas-Washington game. I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I slept through it completely. Yeah, what a great college football fan I am. But I checked the score of that. I was looking at some other stuff, and you're just not that tired. I should have immediately went back to sleep. I didn't do it, but then I end up staying up till like 6:30, fall back to sleep, and then I wake up at 8 a.m. Dude, when I woke up this morning at 8 a.m., it was brutal. I also have this other thing going on where it might be impossible for my body. I don't know if it's a body clock thing or what, for me to sleep past 9 a.m. I just never do it. No matter how tired I am, getting up and putting on my jeans this morning, oh, do you know when you're just so tired? Because if you get a certain amount of sleep, like if you get limited sleep, you can feel it when you wake up, and you can feel your brain just not functioning properly. I had to do this like NFL prediction video this morning. I was literally getting dazed as I was like going from team to team trying to talk about it, just get through it. And then I had to go get a coffee. I got like this half decaf thing. That's another thing that's an issue with my body. I can't even drink caffeine now. I can drink like 50 milligrams. 3 years ago, I would do 300 milligram pre-workout caffeine at 6 a.m. and it'd be great. I can't even drink caffeine anymore. My body will literally have a spasm. And now I have to drink like 50 milligrams of caffeine, like a little fishy shrimp, just trying to, get something to wake myself up. But then when you're operating on limited sleep, you'll have moments through the day. Like right now, I'm pretty fully functioning, I would say. But you'll also have like a 2 or 3 hour period where it's just like, and I was saying this on my live stream, around 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I'll get this 15-minute wave where I just am dead. I am so tired. I could literally fall asleep. But then if I fall asleep, I'll probably only be asleep for like 45 minutes to an hour because my body somehow knows that it's only 8 o'clock at night. And you can't really, it's just, the whole thing is so messed up. It's so weird. And it's like when you're younger, you take for granted all of this normal stuff. And then as you get older, your body just completely fails you and really just abandons you. It is sad. But another thing I wanted to talk about this morning, maybe like the first time in like a month, because I haven't worked out in 3 months, but like the first time in a month, I decided to take my shirt off and look at myself. And guys, let me just tell you, if you saw me with my shirt off, your reaction would be, bro, you're a unit. Like I'm not even kidding you. I think I've actually gained more muscle and lost fat after I stopped working out. It's crazy. But I do have a decent amount of muscle now. I weighed myself. I was 145. And people say, oh, that's light. Guys, I'm only 5'9". It's actually perfectly healthy to be 145. And I have a lot of muscle. My back looks amazing right now. I do think people would be very impressed. And it's weird because it's like I stopped working out. I'm trying to up my protein. I'm trying to eat more steak and stuff like that. My diet's still not very good, but it is kind of weird how that works. And honestly, I feel like I'm almost in better shape now after slaving away at the gym for 3 years, I guess I made okay progress, but I don't think I was at enough of a calorie surplus. See, the problem always is if you're not going to get on any type of steroids, which, I mean, obviously that comes down to like, a personal choice, but I would say never try any of that stuff, but it's just going to fuck you up. Either way, if you're not going to do any of that, you do have to go on big time bulks and you got to eat like 4,000 calories because you need to gain the fat and then you have to shred it down and keep some of the muscle. So I didn't really want to do that because I didn't want to gain the fat. So that's why I never really gained a lot of muscle. But my body type, it's a genetic based thing. I can survive easily off of 2,000 calories and gain weight just because if I actually went on a bulk, I could put on serious weight if I wanted to. If I had the genetics of some of these kids who are skinny, I would probably be about 110 pounds. That's why I'm thankful to have the genetics that I do to where I put on a lot of weight easily. I don't have to eat that much. Normally, I don't like eating that much. And that's just how my genetics are. So it's very easy for me to get fat, but I've never been that big of an eater. So it really hasn't been an issue for me personally. But that's just kind of the situation surrounding that. But yeah, guys. And then I take a look at this. These are some photos. This is something I pulled off of, what is it? Text to image. What a disturbing photo that is. I searched insomnia bed. And somebody was telling me in I don't know if it was Discord or maybe when I was live streaming, they were like, they don't like AI because it gives you just disturbing imagery. And I kind of agree. I mean, this is just a disturbing image to look at. I mean, the dude's kind of a Chad. He's got a really nice jawline, but it is a very strange image. But that's just my nighttime issues. Normally, it's once a week, maybe twice a week. I'll probably tonight be able to fall asleep a lot better just because the past 2 nights I've been working on like 4 hours of sleep each night. But the perspective when you get older and you start having all of these issues, brain fog, for me, it's never been anything physical. Like, I've never had a bad back or anything like that. I think I'm too young for that. When you're like 40, you get that and stuff like that. But even just like when I was 16 or 17, I was just living life. And now it's like I'm just trying to survive. Like 16 or 17, none of this was even close to an issue. And now all of these problems are coming up for me. I can't sleep at night. And the other thing I wanted to say, you would think how many times we can hear these people on YouTube or, fitness gurus, whatever. They're like, oh, you gotta get sleep. It's so important. I agree it's important, but you would think there'd be some development in science that, we could take a pill where it would tell our brain to sleep for 7 or 8 hours and it wouldn't be an issue to where it's like we need our bodies to turn off to be able to sleep, because I can literally lay down in my bed for an hour and just lay there at 2 a.m. after getting 3 hours of sleep the night before, by the way, and not fall asleep because my brain doesn't want to turn off. So when are we getting the pill to where we can take something and it just shuts your brain off and all the gurus are like, oh, sleep is so important? Then why don't we develop something? Is it really that hard to turn the human brain off for 7 hours or trigger something? And melatonin, it's a bad idea. I've tried it and it fucks you up real well. I don't say that. There's no side effects to it other than you become dependent on it and you have to keep taking more and more and more of it, and it artificially makes you tired to where actually there is a side effect to melatonin. When I was taking 10 milligrams, the next day you feel tired as hell early afternoon, real bad. And the only way to combat that is like 5-hour energy or something, because it is it's like 4 or 5 hours aggressive tiredness. If you're pumping, if you're eating or digesting 10 milligrams of melatonin, even 3 or 4, it's going to send you on a downward spiral unless you're one of the rare people that can just take the little gummy, fall asleep off of it in like 15 to 20 minutes, and that's all you need. Normally you take it, then you become dependent on it. Your tolerance gets better and better. You have to take more and more and more. It's a terrible downward spiral. There has to be something else. Why not just take a pill and it sends a signal to your brain and it shuts it off for 7 or 8 hours? You'd think they'd be able to develop something like that rather than relying on our own body clock, our own brain to shut off, because that's what it comes down to. And then they're like, oh, bro, get the phone out. Get the phone out of your bed. That's not the problem. Trust me. I could lay in my bed. I've done this. I've laid in my bed for 2 hours when I'm tired and I just can't fall asleep. It's just crazy to me. But yeah, that's just my rant about my sleep insomnia and how bad it is and how annoying it is. But hopefully at some point, I'll go through stretches where I'll get like really good sleep too. Like this past week, I had a nice stretch where I was going to bed at like 11:30, 12. 11:30, 12 is a good time, I feel like, for adults to go to sleep. I don't know. It's not like I'm 30 or 35 years old. Maybe when you get older, you can go to bed earlier. But like 11:30, 12, and then you can wake up 7:30 or 8. That's like perfect. That's the perfect window. When I was younger and I was going to the gym like 2-3 years ago, I would go to sleep like 9:30, 10. I was actually on a crazy regimen and it worked, and I really never had an issue about falling asleep at 9:30, 10, but I was doing a lot of cardio back then. Maybe the cardio made me a little bit more tired. Probably something like that happened and I was able to fall asleep at 9:30, 10, and I would wake up at 5:30 every single day except for Sunday. That was when I was really on a fitness thing. But now I stopped the fitness and I've actually gained more muscle after I stopped working out, and I've lost I didn't have much body fat, but I've lost a lot more body fat as well. So it's just interesting how that works out. And then this is a funny story. So I was going by my old gym. Like the way it's configured, it's really weird because I was going to Target, and then as I was coming out of Target, I was passing by my old gym. So today is Tuesday, January 2nd. January 1st, everything is closed, right? So this would be the first day when all the NPCs go to the gym. It's their New Year's resolution. This was probably 10:30, 11 a.m., and the place, I mean, you couldn't find a spot. I thought it was funny as I drove past it, just because this would be the day where everyone, imagine, like right now it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. When I upload this video, it'll be later. Imagine those places, the gyms right now. This might be the busiest day of the entire year. The first work day where everything is open after the new year. This may be their busiest day. It honestly could be. It's crazy to think about that. I don't know. I just thought it was funny because I just kind of had an observation as I drove home. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on X. Link to that's always in the description.